Welcome to 770 Eastern Parkway, Lubavitch World Headquarters. We're about to be starting the chuppah. I'm Yossi Friedman, and my co-host over here is Rabbi Levi Wolansky. We'll be having, first of all, a greeting from the father of the bride, Rabbi Moshe Wolansky. We're entering right now 770 Eastern Parkway.
You play a little Sholom Bears getting married. So.
Here we have the groom getting dressed with the clothing of the Lubavitcher Rebbe. Again, only certain individuals, there's social distancing, only certain individuals are allowed at a time.
Giving officer who says that before the pandemic, 180,000 invaders were struggling with food insecurity.
Hi, Lawrence.
Hey, Ruben. How are you?
I'm okay.
Greetings, gentlemen.
Everybody could see everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Been a
Lior
while.
in Israel. Yeah.
Okay.
So what is going on there? I gather things are at Chabad time and they haven't started yet.
You're there.
Hello, everybody.
Hello,
Welcome.
Rabbi.
Hey, Rabbi.
I'm so
Oh,
happy.
Rabbi, Mazel tov,
Leading us
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov, Mazel
Now,
tov.
in Lubavitcher World Headquarters, where the chuppah will take place. The Rebbe spent over close to 50 years in this building, and we'll have the chuppah there. It'll be so great. We'd like to welcome all the people from the state of Maine, as well as welcome all the people from the state of North Carolina. Also like to welcome all the people, all different parts of America, and as well as all different parts of the world. In a few minutes, together, my dear friend, Rabbi Weiss, will be escorting the Chatan outside to the chuppah. The last few weddings in Portland were in person. We can wish you Mazel Tov in person. But today, we'll have much more people. You all could join virtually, and let's all say L'chaim and Mazel Tov everybody. And everybody should have also in your simchas and your occasions should have a lot of mazel.
Amen.
Me.
Okay, we will now head, as we said before, I think it was a mute. This is a very special day. It's like a mini Yom Kippur. That's why the Chassan and Kala, bride and groom, are in solemn mode. They're going to be being escorted now to the chuppah. Again, all serious until the glass is broken. That's when the happiness and the joy comes about.
Kala is here and everything? Kala is here, yes. Put your arm through his.
groom is escorted onto the chuppah, onto the canopy, and soon the parents will be coming out to escort the bride and introduce her to come on to the chuppah as well.
Get better control if you shorten it and hold it right here. I'm saying you get the same height, you just twist out a bit.
As it is customary, the kala goes and surrounds the chatan, the groom, 7 times, together with parents and grandparents, including this is a special time that not only parents and grandparents are on, but even those that are not currently alive, they join as well, up to a number of generations under the chuppah. I see some of you are already writing notes. Please do note that it's going to be very difficult for the bride and groom to notice everything now. But of course, please do leave your messages in the chat box and they will see everybody who messaged. Just make sure your name is written correctly and then we will know who's giving the message. We would love to hear your message of Mazel Tov. Chala is concluding her 7th round, standing next to the groom, and there will be a number of ceremonies in the chuppah. First and foremost, there will be the introduction and introducing them and welcoming them, the bride and groom, under the chuppah. Joined by my co-host MC Rabbi Levi Wolanski from Portland, Maine.
Mazel tov, mazel tov. To get to this day was definitely complicated during this pandemic. But what better place can a wedding be standing right in front of 770, the Rebbe Sholom. This is a place where the Rebbe came out to many weddings, giving his blessings, and he's definitely here with us today, showering the chas and the kala with blessings. Today is also a special day because marks the anniversary of the Rebbe's wedding as well. A Jewish wedding is more than a ceremony or some symbolic ritual. It is a spiritual process which actually creates a soul connection between the bride and groom. Beneath the chuppah, there occurs a fusion of souls. Two souls which were separated before birth joyfully reunite. Our sages teach us that each marriage ceremony is a reenactment of the marriage between Hashem and the Jewish people that took place at Mount Sinai. The wedding day is the holiest day of one's life and is considered a personal Yom Kippur. Indeed, the Shekhinah, divine presence, graces the presence of every chuppah ceremony. Joining the Shekhinah are several generations of departed ancestors who descended from their heavenly abode to join the Jewish wedding celebration. How are you? At this auspicious moment, the prayers of the brides and grooms have particular effectiveness. We ask the bride and groom to beseech God to bless the family, the people of Israel and Eretz Yisrael. The Chassan and Kala are welcome to the chuppah with the cantorial Baruch Haba. Rabbi Label Baumgarten, Shliach of the Rebbe to the Hamptons, uncle of the groom and good friend of the Kala's family, is honored to sing this welcome. Our dear Rebbe would send special letters of blessings to the Chassan and Kala. The Talmud tells us that the words of the righteous are eternal. We are sure that now too. The Rebbe continues to pray on behalf and bless our Chassan and Kala. Today we'll be reading from the letter which the Rebbe sent to the Kala's parents for their wedding. Rabbi Moshe Zalman Katzman, Shliach to Staten Island and uncle of the Chassan, will now be honored with reading the letter the Rebbe would traditionally send. Uncle of the Kala, Rabbi Label Korb Shliach to Las Vegas is honored with reading the English translation of the letter.
Baruch Hashem, Brooklyn, New York.
Sholom uvracha. The man Adam Mekfir Zman Chasunasim, the young Gedal of Tishrei Abba and Vatavim was a Lavir Bechassid Bechas Mazel Tov, Vishti, Vishotev, Mitzlachas, Yivnu Bayis, the Yisrael, Binyan Adayad, Al Yisrael, HaTayra, Vamitza, Kfisha, Moarim, the Moish, Batayra, Zoyi Tayra Saxidus, Bechas Mazel Tov, Simis Yat Kochin.
By the grace of God, Brooklyn, New York, greeting and blessing. We reply to your notification of the date of your wedding to take place with God's help. I send you herewith my prayerful wishes that it take place in a happy and auspicious hour, and that you build an everlasting Jewish home based on the foundations of the Torah and Mitzvahs, as they are illuminated with the inner light of the Torah, that is the teaching of Chassidus. The blessing of Mazel Tov, that is Elusive.
We all extend our blessings and good wishes to the Chassan and Kala. We would also like to extend to them the Birkas Kohanim, the priestly blessing which is recorded in the Torah. This blessing will be recited by a Kohen, Rabbi Yosef Katzman, uncle of the Chassan, founder of Cable Jew Live. The essential feature of the chuppah is when the chassan places a ring on the finger of his kala. It is a traditional to use a simple gold band expressing the singularity of his moment and his depth, which is beyond any form of description. Before the ring ceremony, a blessing is recited which concentrates the moment and the marriage. We will call upon, with rishos of the basis of Crown Heights, father of the chassan, Rabbi Yehuda Binyamin Weiss, to officiate the wedding and recite the blessing which declares the sanctity of the Jewish marriage. Serving as our witnesses this evening is Rabbi Menachem Mendel Kolarski, the Skam and Al Americas Inyani Chinuch, and friend of the Chassan and Kala's family, as well as Rabbi Menachem Wolf, friend of the Chassan.
They're checking out the ring right now, and they are going to verify with the groom that the ring is indeed worth a certain minimum, and that will enable the wedding celebration to take according to the laws of the Torah.
No. I gave it, I'm just cleaning it.
Groom is confirming that the ring belongs to him, and with that, he's allowed to use the ring to do the betrothal. The officiating rabbi is the father of the groom, and he will be receiving a glass of wine to recite the first blessing, which is the allowance of betrothal, following 7 blessings of wedding, of marriage.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagofen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher yishem mitzvah tzivanu al harayos v'yaseh lanu es arusos ביטל לנו סנוסוס לנו דחופה וקידושין, ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש עם ישראל דחופה וקידושין.
The groom takes a sip from the wine, followed by the bride. There are two witnesses right over here. This is one witness on the left, another witness right over there. The two witnesses over here, they are the ones that make the actual wedding ceremony take place. The groom is not going to give the ring to the bride. Ring was given.
At this point, it is customary to read the ketubah, the traditional marriage contract. The ketubah is the first historical contract guaranteeing the rights of Jewish wives for thousands of years. We'll read the original Aramaic text. The ketubah will now be read in the original Aramaic text by Rabbi Yehuda Kolarsky, chairman of the International Kiddush and vice chairman of Merkez Binyan Kiddush and relative of the Kala.
Baruch Hashem, b'sheini b'shabbos ha'barasa yom l'chedesh kislev, nas chamesh hatzlov and shvamesh shvene v'atzl v'yisrael u'min shalom. Menim kam motzah Brooklyn, New York, Shabbat Reb Sholom Devet Sheiche, Rav Yehuda Binyamin Sheiche, Yom Olav B'Psulta, Toby Tzeki Basar Moshe Sheiche. Avei Lintik V'das Moshe V'Yisov V'Na'efel Avei Kaveta V'Fanis Tzich V'Ti. V'Skubi Yudon the Polkun V'Mekim V'Zon V'Fanis L'Shem V'Pushta. Yidden L'Chi V'Yim Tzalak V'Stav Tzizim Osel Tzchaz V'Kum V'Deretz V'Nak V'Tzak V'Tzmukaychi Mel V'Sik Keret Kolar V'Tziz Mos Toby Tzeki Tzulta V'Abbas L'In Lintik V'Dein L'Duyin Danos L'In B'Yavur B'Miksav B'Mikzav B'Miktav the mother of the Lush, Vishmush Dir, Vishmush Dars, Akol Kibble over Shom the Beshi, Hasandanam, and Scooping Cats of Son. The Soviet of Shom the Beshi, Hasandanam, Vice of Woman, the Lay and Base Scooping Cats of Son for him, connect us, our film, the time Scooping Cats of Son. Kakomer of Shom the Beshi, Hasandanam, the crash like Sufta, Donny, doing them to accept the Kabbalah Salam, Yassim, the show, Swarm, Koshar, Agnes, and Kinyon. This was close to Shmai, the Kanoi doesn't know. Lips and this one in the price with less one in the price. Coming in the frame, I wait. Frame and I start softer than the thing that we accepted them. The knife I feel in Glimmer, I'll destroy the Kai, but the Kai, me, and the Nano. Machrai, so Hamish like softer than the thing that we accepted them. Came along from the Beshi. Cassandra, However, for the acceptance. I'm not so soon to take the menus out, look at Snarkles, like the tapes in the store. Nina mir hab schon der Wäsche, ich bin auf jedem Jamschicht Cassandra, maar Toby Tzeki Basar Moshe Sheiche V'Sulta da. I'll come out the custom first level under the custom Mikne by Apple Shem Numel Yo Markte Ben Gabriel Emmanuel Hakeim Mishpachas Kondei, Ushom de Bebem Nachmen Mishpachas Bem
This is the marriage contract that will be given by the groom to the bride. They'll be holding it on. The bride just accepted the marriage contract.
We will now signify the marriage and new home with 7 powerful blessings. The Hagafen and blessing of Shahaka, which notes that they were created in God's honor, will now be recited by Rabbi Zev Weinbaum, representing the Weinbaum family, whose father got the answers to start the first God Yisrael, and together with Nahas Weiss, the grandfather of Hassan, please come on.
Amen. Amen.
The third blessing, Yetzer Adam, which thanks God for creating man, will now be recited by by Shimon Bar Ben Sion, wise uncle of the Chassan.
Amen.
The next blessing thanks God who created man in his own image, in a way that man and woman together can then build an everlasting home. This blessing will now be recited by the great uncle of the Chassan, Rabbi Zalman Khan from Bad Hafatzis L'Kutisitz.
These are the 7 blessings that are coordinated with the 7 different levels that the groom and bride enter into a marriage, and we honor different families, distinguished guests, to do the different blessings. As a relative of the groom.
The 5th blessing, rejoice as your children gather happily into you, refers to the holy city of Yerushalayim, which awaits the return of her children from exile, will now be recited by great uncle of the Chassan, Rabbi Meir Simcha Chazana.
Sei stasi husago akoro, ikibel bono lusecho besimcho, boruch ato adinoi, mesameach tzigei beboneo.
Grant abundant joy to these loving friends and their glad preparations in the Garden of Eden. Blessed are you who gladdens the groom and bride for the blessings we call upon Rabbi Label Gordon, cousins to the Palace family representing the Gordon family, the Manal of the Mikvah, the Ferret Sarah Leah, May Avram Eliezer, Mikvah in Portland, Maine.
Samach Samach, Reva Uben, Kisrek, Atoy Yitzirko, the Gan Eden, and Kedem, Baruch Atwa Adeno, Yisabea Pason, the Talo.
Amen.
The 7th and final blessing brings the ceremony to the heights of joy with a prayer for love, friendship, peace, and joyfulness. The blessing concludes with the prayer, let there speedily be a herd of the cities of Judah and streets of Jerusalem. The sound of joy and the sound of happiness, the sound of the groom and the sound of the bride, the sound of exhalation of grooms from under their chuppah and youth from the joyous banquets. The final blessing will now be recited by Rabbi and Dr. Yitzhak Cooper, who serves as chief doctor of the Maimonides Hospital and close friend of both families, the bride and groom.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher baras osim b'simcha, chosam v'chala, gilavim haditza v'chedva, ava v'yachva, sholem v'reyos. Meinu Adonai Eloheinu yishum avi yarei Yehuda v'chutzos Yerushalayim, kol chosam v'kol simcha, kol chosam v'kol kala, kol mitamais chatzonim v'chupasam, v'noharim v'shvene ginosam, Baruch atah Adonai, misameach chosam v'makala.
Groom and the bride again will be sipping a little bit from the wine. We're after.
At the height of our joy, the Chassan breaks the glass to remember our temple, our true home which still remains destroyed. Thus, even at this most joyous day of our lives, we are invited to remember Jerusalem, the destruction of our holy temple, and desperation for the Jewish people through a long and often bitter exile. And so, at every simple, we Jews pause to remember that our hearts are still somewhat broken until Jerusalem will enjoy her total restoration with the coming of Mashiach and the rebuilding of our holy temple. It is for this reason that we now ask the Chassan to break the glass under the chuppah.
Again, please make sure to write your messages in the chat. Mazel Yes, just to mention, some of the people here are not hit by corona. Many of the attendees already had corona and they were not susceptible to it. So that's why you notice some people without a mask. Be it as it may, we wish you all a mazel tov to everybody. Thank you so much for joining. We'll be closing up, but please continue to leave some messages on the chat, and the bride and groom will make sure to see them. Mazel tov, mazel tov. Thank you all for joining. What? The umbrella? Get a body. No, I'm done. Huh? For the Chassan Kala? Because you don't want to? Your wife? And hold it, remember Chassan Kala? Maybe it's for the your sister, can you hold it? Chassan Kala, can you hold it?
Finish you soon? Ronnie, give me a phone.
Unmute. Rachel Diamond, is that you formerly from Charlotte?
Can anybody hear anybody? Are we watching the party or not?
We can only hear each other.
Yes, okay. Yeah, you were at services, I take it. I watched the wedding. I saw the wedding and heard it. We all saw each other and it was
I saw
raining. Were you there?
Yeah.
You can see it too?
Yeah, you didn't see me. I was standing right beside the bride.
Are you there?
No, I wasn't there.
No, I know.
I was davening here.
Yes,
I was with them in spirit, but I did see I was at the end of the chuppah.
You saw the glass being broken. Yes, you saw that. Good, good, good. I thought so. It was after 5:30. And Amy and Amy's trying to get on. She can't get on. I just sent her what I had, and I don't know what's happening for her. But they were at services, right?
Amy?
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Hi. To have it out in the rain like that, my goodness. A lot of people are masked, though. It's nice.
Tom Berman's here, and he didn't put a mask on.
Who didn't?
Tom Berman. There he is.
Oh. Well, hopefully they're all okay. They're all immune.
We have a Chaya Mushka, but there's like a million Chaya Mushkas, so I never know which one's which. At least this one smiled at that. That's good. Wait a minute. That doesn't look like Chaya Mushka.
Now you can't see anybody, can you? Except the gallery?
No, I can just see Ruben with his hands on his head, and the people who have their cameras on. That's all I can see.
Oh, you can still see something on camera? See, I can't see that at all anymore.
What do you mean? Put it on gallery view.
Okay, I thought I had it on there. Just a second. Gallery, live on YouTube, and get rid of
Rabbi Gary Berenson, how do you stay so still?
It's drugs, Kenny. I've been taking these drugs that allow me to do it.
Okay.
Well, you don't shake anymore.
Go ahead.
Mazel tov, everyone.
Mazel tov, thank you for joining the beautiful wedding. And it's really very, very nice. And you also have good times and simchas. Every wife. To say, yes. My wife's not speaking to this community in North Carolina.
Took the mask on. Mazel tov. As I'm sure you've heard tonight, even souls that have been gone from this world for many years come down to bless the wedding and share and take joy. And I wish you all could have been here today with us. I'm sure you're here in spirit, and God willing, we'll have many, many good occasions to celebrate together. Mazel tov, mazel tov. Mazel tov, mazel tov. With this, we conclude the Zoom today. Thank you all for